What's going on, guys? Welcome to Day in the Life 21, or Life of a Pro 21. Day in the Life, that's a throwback. We're not in Day in the Life anymore, we're in Life of a Pro. So I have some kind of good, but mostly bad news. The kind of good news is that for the last two games, I have been starting. I started against the Rochester Rhinos and I started against Charlotte Independence. I played the full 90 minutes, it felt great to be back in the games, and I actually got my first assist against Charlotte Independent in the USL, so very, very excited about that. I'll put the clip in right here.
Possessions of the night. Ali Hadzic, far side. In the corner of the box, Ali Hadzic straight on, tried to get the trigger started, then returns it to the corner. That cross was deflected and into the net. A score for St. Louis.
Very patient. St. Louis had a nice build-up. The ball went wide once, then it jammed it back down the right side again. Not sure exactly.
So it was cool, it was a good experience, but we've just been on a little bit of a losing streak. We've lost a couple games, haven't scored that many goals. Defensively, we're kind of breaking down, so it's been frustrating. But I'm confident that things will turn around, and it's just gonna take some hard work, some work with the team and training, some work outside of training on your own, but I think, it will come together. I also, the last few games that I've traveled, I've been incredibly fortunate, and a lot of you guys have been coming to the games, have been sticking around afterwards so we can talk. And it's just been, honestly, it's still surreal to me that I can travel to some place like Charlotte, where I've never been to, or New York, where I've never been to, and play a team, and have people at that game come up to me and talk to me about how much they like the YouTube channel, just about all that stuff. And it's just so humbling, and I appreciate it so much. So thank you for sticking around. Thank you for coming to talk to me. I hope I'm not that big of a jerk in person. But seriously, it's so cool. It's so cool to meet you guys. It's one of my favorite things about having this YouTube channel. But yeah, just very, very cool. Anyway, what time is it? It's 8:28 at night. We just got back from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm gonna cook some dinner. It's just gonna be some ground sausage or ground turkey, I haven't decided yet, with some pasta, with like an Alfredo sauce, and then some veggies. Pretty simple, pretty standard. And then that's honestly about it for tonight. I'm just gonna edit the videos up, do some work, answer some emails. I'm behind on stuff. But yeah. I was gonna make like a cool montage and film this whole process of cooking, but I'm lazy, so you guys are just gonna have to see the finished product. I cook like 8 servings, like a huge portion, and then I just put the rest of it in the fridge so that when I come back from training or for the next 2 to 4 dinners, I can just reheat that. So it's really easy, good food, so when I'm hungry, I'm not gonna snack. I can just get like some good protein, pasta, veggies, all that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna eat this, and that's about it for tonight. What's up, guys? So I'm back from training. It's like 12 o'clock right now. I'm feeling great though. I'm feeling really, really good. My body's not that tired. My legs are pretty decent, and it's 2 days after the game, so I'm gonna get a little workout in. It's gonna be very, very core intensive. And then I'm gonna kind of talk about 6-packs, and I just have some talking points about how to get them, what it means to have one, if you need a 6-pack to be a pro, just stuff like that. So my routine every day before I go to the gym is pretty similar. I make some pre-workout, and then I watch some YouTube videos of just like my favorite YouTubers, mostly in the fitness industry, just because there aren't that many there's not that many vloggers in the soccer world. So I watch a lot of the fitness YouTubers just get ideas and also get a little bit inspired. So I'm gonna do that right now. I do still take pre-workout. Right now I just went to Walmart and just picked up this like NeuroCore Focus. Like I say all the time, pre-workout is kind of like my vice. It's kind of like my guilty pleasure. In an ideal world, I wouldn't take it just because there's a ton of caffeine in here. There's a lot of like stimulants and it's kind of unregulated. So I wouldn't recommend it for many of you, especially if you're younger. You know, at the same time, I want to show you what I'm doing. In the real world, a lot of professional athletes are taking pre-workout just because when they come home from training or they come home from whatever they're doing, their constant schedules. And so the extra caffeine, the extra kind of stimulants gives them a little bit extra energy for their workouts. It is addicting though. It's kind of like a cup of coffee. You start off, you take 1 cup of coffee in the morning because it helps you wake up and you like it, then all of a sudden you're up to 2 cups, and all of a sudden you're taking 3 cups a day, then 4 cups. So you have to be careful with it. It can be kind of dangerous. Just with everything, you gotta be smart. Let's get a workout in. So I'll do a voiceover about this workout session. I wanted to start off with like a compound box squat, again, just rehabbing the knee. Being in season, it feels great. I have no pain, but I still want to strengthen it up and up and up. I'm trying to keep going up weight, but with the travel schedule and the games, it's been hard to progress without getting sore, so I've been balancing that out. But it feels fantastic. I'm really happy about that. So I did 3 or 4 sets, about 10 reps, which is 95 pounds, really focusing on that eccentric movement, the downwards movement, because that's what you want to do for your ligaments and tendons to strengthen those. Then I just went to the bench press and just threw on like 185 pounds and just did like 4 sets of 7 reps. And again, I just wanted a compound movement to work on everything, a little bit of upper body, some chest. And then after this, I went into my ab workout. And so my ab workout was, I focused on 3 things. This is the oblique. So I start off with an oblique movement, which is the sides of your abs. And this, I just used the TRX band, put my feet in the loops, and then went up and brought my knee to my elbow, back down, and then back to my other elbow. In every single ab movement, I'm a firm believer of controlling it and really like squeezing your core, because you can go through the motions and just not get that much out of it. And it looks like you're doing a ton, but you're not gonna actually get a stronger core. You're not going to get a stronger 6-pack. It's just all kind of like just momentum. So, and every one of these movements, I'm squeezing the crap out of my core. I'm trying to control the entire movement, because I could do those TRX bands, oblique stuff very quickly, or I could do it slowly. Same thing with the leg raise. Very slow and controlled movement. I'm not swinging my legs at all. Everything's controlled. And that's like how you really develop that core stability. So anyway, the last was a crunch one that would do like the main abs, and then this is really good for the lower abs, any kind of leg raise. You can do it hanging, you can do it off those little loops that hang off of bars, or you can do it on like a little chest dip thing.
So that's generally what I do. Short, sweet, simple.
Good workout. Probably go to the pool in a little bit, just lay out in the sun. So 6-packs, I get this a lot. Do you need a 6-pack to be a pro? How do you get a 6-pack? What's the best way to do it? I do abs all the time and I can't reduce the fat around my abs. It's always the most stubborn part because generally that's just where our bodies naturally store fat. So even if you have a little bit of fat, most likely it's going to be stored right around those lower abs. And despite what you've heard, it's impossible to just cut fat in certain areas of your body. For example, if you're 8% body fat, your 8% of your fat is kind of spread, not uniformly, but it's spread around your body. It might be a little bit thicker in other areas, but most likely there's going to be a little bit of fat all around your body. If you go to the gym and you just do tons of core work, planks, crunches, sit-ups, all that stuff, and you do core every single day, you can't just lose the fat right around your midsection. The only way to really cut fat is to do it completely. You're gonna have to go into a caloric deficit and you will cut your fat that way, but it's gonna be around your entire body, and the last place your fat's gonna be cut most likely is around your midsection. I know you guys have probably seen me shirtless and some other pictures and stuff of me, and you know, it's awkward to talk about, but I do have a pretty good 6-pack. Is it necessary to have a 6-pack to be a pro soccer player? Absolutely not. And a lot of players you'll see don't have 6-packs. Some of the best players in the world, in fact. But they do have strong cores. And having a strong core and having a 6-pack, they're go together, but they're also kind of different. Let me try to explain. Having a defined six-pack where you can clearly see some abdominal muscles is a factor of two things: total body fat and the strength and size of the underlying muscle. If you have very, very strong core and you have really strong muscles that pop out, even if you have a slightly higher body fat percentage than you need to, you might not have a six-pack, because that fat is just going to be over the six-pack, covering up those abs. No matter how strong or big you get those ab muscles, even if you have a little layer of fat over it, you're not going to get that popping six-pack that maybe you guys want. That being said, I'm sure you've also seen extremely skinny guys have six-pack when they have zero muscle. This is just because they have so little body fat that even this little muscle is able to pop through. So if you want to have the six-pack and you just care about what your body looks like, then you do have to get the muscles bigger and stronger through the exercise in the gym, but you need, and this is the main, most important thing, you need to cut down the overall fat on your body by being in a caloric deficit, aka burning more calories in your day than what you're consuming. If you're doing that, your fat's going to decrease, and slowly over time your abs are going to become more and more defined, despite how strong they get or how big those muscles get. Honestly, it doesn't matter what your actual six-pack or your core looks like. As long as you have a strong core that can hold and keep everything tight together and allow you to perform what you need to do on the field, then it's okay. It doesn't matter if you've got that small layer of fat over your six-pack or over your abs. Me personally, I take a lot of pride in what my body looks like, and I really try to strive to have the most athletic and the most lean just body that I can possibly can, not only for soccer, but just because I like it. So I make sure that I'm eating very healthy foods, that I'm also balancing that caloric maintenance to caloric deficit right now when I'm not trying to gain any weight. And that's why you can see my six-pack so clearly. So do you need a six-pack? No. If you want one, make sure that you aren't just going in the gym and just focusing on this of just trying to get the abs stronger, because like I said, it doesn't matter how strong your abs are if you have a little bit of fat covering it. That's my little spiel about six-packs. So I hope that kind of clears some stuff up. If you have any other questions about it, ask. I read a lot of the comments, I read a lot of the emails, and whenever there's a general theme that kind of pops up, I like to answer it in a video and a little bit more in depth. Anyway, the rest of today is pretty much going to be editing this video, doing a lot of emails, doing a lot of work, maybe going to the pool for a little bit with Dennis and Milan. And then once the sun sets, once it gets a little bit cooler, since it's like 96 degrees outside, I want to go to a park and get another tight space technical training session in, just to work and improve on my weakness, that tight space control. But first, I'm going to go to the pool. As you saw with the weightlifting session, and as you will see with the soccer training session, it's just me and a tripod because unfortunately, well, actually it's kind of good. Mimi left for California again. She's back in San Diego because she's got some pretty big interviews for some companies. She's starting to really take those next steps forward with her career in interior design. So I'm really proud of her. I'm really happy that she's going after her goals and what she wants to do. We're still together as a couple and everything's great, but for the foreseeable future, she's gonna be back in San Diego. I'll be in St. Louis for at least until November, so we will be apart for a little bit, which is pretty sad. But at the same time, I'm really, really happy for her that she's going after her goal of becoming an interior designer and doing what she really wants to do in life. So I've just been doing a ton of work for Become Elite. I went out and grabbed some dinner and stuff, and I basically was like, you know what? Later tonight, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I'm gonna go outside and do a training session when it cools down. But I'm naive because in Portland, after 8 o'clock, it usually cools down to about 70 degrees and it's really, really nice to train in. St. Louis in the Midwest of America is different because right now it is currently 9 p.m. and it is 91 degrees outside. At 10 p.m. it cools down to a really nice 90 and it will not break below 90 until 12 a.m. So honestly, I'm just really not feeling it. We got training again tomorrow morning and it's supposed to be 102 tomorrow with 100% humidity. The Midwest is just wonderful. Anyway, I think that's it for the video. But if you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you in the next video.